So Star Wars. Oh man. The trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu just came out. And guys, I think there's a problem. This has to do with the exposure of this fucking thing, man. And I was hoping that it would pop a little bit more. There were rumors that it was supposed to come out last week. Yeah, there were rumors it was supposed to come out last week, and I think they said that because of the situation with Mr. Jimmy Kimmel, they decided to delay it into this week, okay? Now, this is a trailer that people have known about for a long, long time, and there's been a version of this trailer that's been at Celebration and maybe even at multiple events, because sometimes they'll show these trailers to people kind of behind the scenes, et cetera, right? So anyway, this trailer comes out on a Monday. Now, my experience with this trailer is probably not the experience that most Star Wars fans had. I thought the shit was kind of fun. I thought it was better than I expected. And maybe, just maybe, there's an element here of being excited about it because, you know, I was coming back to Nerd Theory, and I don't know, it's just kind of cool, right? That like the day we decided to come back for Nerd Theory, the trailer pops off. So I was like, frankly, I probably had a more positive experience about it than many other people, okay? But that day is kind of like a whirlwind, right? So it happens, I go live, I react to it, we talk about it on stream here. I don't really even get to see a lot of the reaction from fans and how people are feeling about it in that moment. I'm like just doing my thing, and we're talking about it here in the chat. And I think the reaction that we had was also a little bit more positive than a lot of what I saw out there on the internet. So kind of get off stream Monday, right? And I'm looking out there at the reaction from fans because obviously we have Nerd Theory at night. And damn, dude, it shocked me. And, you know, I said this before. I wonder if any of you guys are feeling the same way. But it did kind of shock me how negative people were about it and kind of like the lack of buzz. Later that day, I was checking whether or not it was going to be trending, right? So I was on Twitter before we went live for Nerd Theory, and I was checking it. And the only thing that was trending was Star Wars. I think it was trending like number 21. And honestly, when you looked at it, it wasn't a lot of positive stuff. It's not a positive experience, okay? And I wonder, and I wanted to bring this up because it's, I mean, this is what it is now. You know, all of these movies all come out, and essentially now the performance that these things do is a part of it, right? So that's why with the Fantastic Four, with Superman, with Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel, or Marvel, Disney, and Warner Brothers in those cases all come out and they talk about the numbers, right? They come out and they're like, what did they say for Deadpool? It was like the highest trailer of all time. They added in the Super Bowl thing, so it was like 260 or some shit, like million views. Superman was said to be seen by 250 million people within 24 hours across all platforms. The Fantastic Four trailer was a similar thing. I think they said like 200 million. So anyway, like all of these things are a part of it, right? And this is also why box office, and not just box office, but profitability is becoming a part of the conversation too. You know, Hollywood's trying to show you ancillaries and stuff like that because they don't want people to be like, none of these movies are making money. Like, what's going on here? So it's weird how this has all become a part of the conversation. Anyway, I say all of that to say that we have to have a difficult conversation now about the numbers here for The Mandalorian and Grogu. So I think currently right now it's about 8.5 million views on the main YouTube channel in a 24-hour period. Okay, so I want you guys. Do you think that's good or bad, chat? Like, what do you think? The new Star Wars trailer, the new Star Wars movie, 8.4 million views in 24 hours. Yeah, pretty low, right? I mean, it seems obviously low, right? But can I explain to you how low this is? Can I explain to you how bad this is? So when you compare this to all of the movies of the sequel trilogy, it's wild. I mean, you know, I have some of these numbers pulled up for you right now. So, like, Force Awakens did 112 million online views in 24 hours. The Last Jedi did 120. The Rise of Skywalker, even after people were checked the fuck out, did 111 million views in 24 hours. Now, you could say those are bad comparisons because those are like, you know, saga films or whatever. Rogue One, 30 to 46 million. It's trickier to do some of these because they weren't calculating them as much there. But the estimates on Solo and Rogue One are basically triple this. Triple what Mandalorian and Grogu has done in views in 24 hours. So that's really, really bad. You know, that's really, really bad. And it's, I mean, I think you can kind of feel it, man. Man, I was watching some of the commentary with the content creators, with the Star Wars content creators, and a lot of them, like I saw X saying that he didn't even think it was worth doing a breakdown video for. You know what I mean? And a lot of other people saying and feeling similar ways out there. So I think this is a really rough. I think it's rough. I think it's a rough opening because again, like I'm not just talking shit here, guys. They are about to release the first Star Wars movie in 7 years, and Star Wars has had all kind of difficulty getting movies out there. And I think a lot of the fans feel as though it needs to get into the theaters. That the Disney Plus thing is just not good enough, and the Disney Plus thing might have hurt the brand. Is this what it looks like? Is this what it looks like when Disney Plus has hurt a brand as such? This feels like a completely underwhelming trailer. Now, to be honest with you, there's a couple of explanations, right? So I think one could be that people have already seen the trailer a lot, you know, and maybe it's like the expectation is like, what could they possibly show me that's new here? I know about the movie. I know basically what it's going to be. But again, like that's not really where you want to be with Star Wars either. You could say that there's a lot of other things overshadowing it. You could say it came out on a completely random day and there wasn't like a big push for it. I think at the end of the day, it's still pretty terrible. And I know it's getting more views than the YouTube views. I see some people in chat saying it got like 60 million views on Facebook. Guys, not all of these views are created equal. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Maybe you could make the argument that it's still being seen across all these different platforms. But if you're sitting here and you're trying to argue with me that there's evidence to suggest that this trailer popped off, I'm going to tell you no fucking way. And that's the point of the segment. No way. It didn't pop the fuck off. And in fact, there's such a lack of popping off here that I'm fucking concerned. My comeback into Star Wars is like, okay, here we go. New Star Wars movie. I'm so excited. The whole fucking fan base is flaming this thing. It feels super small. I don't think a lot of people are excited for this. And I think if I were Disney, looking at how the response has been just over the past couple of days, I'd be fucking panicked, dude. To be honest with you. And I think it's like, that's what I'm saying is like, I think just looking at it over the past couple of days, if I'm Lucasfilm, I'm fucking panicking over the viewership and over the impressions of this trailer thus far. Okay? And this takes me to the place that I've been at with this movie. And that is that, dude, there's a simple solution here. You just need to put fucking Luke Skywalker in this movie. I don't care what the plans are. I don't care what the ideas are as far as like, no, we want this thing to stand on its own. I don't give a fuck about any of that, dude. It doesn't matter. Star Wars is, I think Lucasfilm might be a little bit in denial about just where they're at with the brand damage. And I really think I think they believe that they're going to be able to just release Mando and Grogu and it's going to make $600, $700, $800 million because it's the It's the first Star Wars movie in whatever X amount of years. People love Grogu. Like, dude, they're so far behind these days, man. And I know, like, you guys know this. A lot of you guys know this because a lot of you are chronically online, frankly, and internet brained as fuck. But these days, the span of a couple of years is decades in how far and how fast culture moves. The internet culture and how these things move, it's so fast, and it feels so like the sequel trilogy feels like 20 years ago. Mando season 2 feels like a decade ago. You know what I mean? And it's almost like none of that magic has carried over into even season 3, into Ahsoka, and frankly into this first trailer. It doesn't. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. It's like I'm looking at this, man, and I'm like, holy fucking shit! Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, This feels really, really bad. And again, this is coming from a guy that's excited about the movie. I actually think the movie's going to be fun. I'm going to see it. And if it was really good and fun and adventurous, man, I'd go see it multiple times probably, right? But I think just gauge off of what I've seen so far and how the trailers responded, I mean, I really think they need to go big, and I don't think this movie is going big, and so I think there's still time, man. You know what I mean? And I think you throw some shit in there, throw some Luke stuff in there, throw something crazy in there. Like, from everything I've heard, they don't have enough. They don't have really anything like that, and I just don't. I mean, what's are they really going to feel good if this thing makes $400 million? Now, technically speaking, this thing makes $400 million. It's probably still profitable because, again, it is the cheapest Star Wars movie ever made. And they'll probably even do, they'll do all the ancillary stuff that Disney just did with Thunderbolts, that Disney just did with Fantastic Four. So they'll do stuff and it'll make money. But is that really what we want? As Star Wars, the brand that wants to become the Disney Plus brand, and then, hey, we can make $400 million in the movie theaters? That is, to me, a bad look. I think you want to get 5, 6, 7. And I think there's enough interest in Star Wars to do that if you do the right stuff. Feels a little bit like the same problem that Marvel had this year, where we're batting with Thunderbolts, we're batting with Sam Wilson, Captain America, we're batting with the Fantastic Four. You've got X-Men, you've got Avengers, you've got Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, you've got all these things that are just more popular. If you're going to play with the B and the C team at a time when the brand is diminished, I just don't know. That's what it comes down to, is I just don't know. Star Wars has A-list, they have B-list, they have C-list. And they also have just Star Wars, but that itself has been diminished. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I wanted to share that because, getting back into the swing of things with Star Wars, here we go. So, chat, what do you think? Any thoughts, comments, questions? Do any of you hate it? Do any of you hate it? Do any of you think there ain't no way, Josh, you're crazy? Let me know. I think it's because it's a streaming series turned into a movie. I don't think it was ever meant to make a billy. Well, let me ask you this then. What do you think they thought it would make when they greenlit the movie? Because they greenlit it. They know the budget. They had an idea of what it would do, right? So what do you think they were aiming for? And then are they going to do that thing that all these movies are doing this year where they're like, actually, we only need like $350? Fun little action adventure, suck it haters. Okay, right on. Mando 3.5. I mean, okay. So 5 to 6. You guys think 5 to 6 Disney would be comfortable with? Fuck, man. I mean, maybe, and maybe they get the last laugh because maybe they get it. I'm just telling you right now, like this response to this trailer is pretty bad to me. This is pretty bad to me. But maybe this is it. Maybe this is the absolute state of Star Wars. This is maybe just where we're at. They should stop with Star Wars and try again in 15 years. I mean, yeah, I actually think a break would do them good, but I don't think they're going to. I just wanted to build some story-wise. Give me a reason to watch this, other than it's a buddy road trip movie. So, not good enough for you? Just a fun adventure with Grogu and Mando? Not good enough for you? Does that mean you'd watch it on streaming, perhaps? Because, come on, man, isn't that kind of the thing? It's like, this feels so weird because it's an experience you just get on streaming. That's what Mando's always been. And now they're going to put it in the movie theater. But it's coming to streaming. I mean, it's going to get to Disney Plus, right? So, yeah, I don't know. If Kathy had let Grogu stay with Luke and kept Luke around to raise Mando's profile, we'd be in a better place. I agree with that, yeah. 1,000 years in the future, away from the Skywalkers is the only way at this stage. I mean, I think that would be good. I think that would be good, yeah. I think it would be appropriate, yeah. Why can't we just... What the fuck? Why can't we just Jedi fighting with some Sith and badass fights? I mean, that would be cool. That would be cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that would be cool. Don't mind the Grogu Mando stuff. Oh my God. My girlfriend is a normie who loves Grogu, but is actually Star Wars needs a massive time jump for at least for the movies. Yeah, Brownie, I hear you, brother. I think yeah, we'll see. Other trailers on YouTube Disney Plus shows have similar viewing totals. Really? That's kind of a bummer. Holy shit, do people even know it's a movie? Oh my goodness. Star Wars is in a much better place than Marvel, in my opinion, long term. It's hard to say, man. I mean, it's a little bit closer than I thought. I think there's evidence, I talked with Theory a little bit about this. I think there's some evidence to suggest that Star Wars is doing better than we thought, maybe. But, yeah. We'll see what it all shakes out to be. It's a movie? Yeah, Daniel? Come on, man. Yeah, man. Come on, man. I'd say $400 to $500 tops, depending on how the reviews are. Well, I hope it makes more than $400 for him, I don't think this movie will perform great on streaming. Isn't the Disney Plus subscription $18? Yeah, they just raised all their prices. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. They did all this stuff, and then they raised their prices, huh? Mm-hmm. Oh, Gretzky, thank God. We can start in earnest now. If this movie had come out a year or so ago, the last season of The Mandalorian, dude, I agree. Brother, it's almost like, you almost like list the ways they could have screwed it up, and it's crazy how many... It's crazy, I think, just how badly they have screwed up a lot of those things over there. It's tough, but... yeah, I mean, I truly... Guys, like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I really think that it's not bait. I'm not trying to be fucking hyperbolic. I'm not trying to clickbait and exaggerate. Like, I'm shocked at how badly this trailer has performed, just from what I've seen. And I'm actually shocked at how it's performed, and I'm shocked at the response from fans. If you agree, then throw one into the chat. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I was like off on some island. I was on my own personal Oct 2. Because I was not really doing Star Wars, and I come back in and I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. But I'm telling you, like, that's where I'm at with it. I am shocked. This is a fucking Star Wars movie. Okay, so some people are throwing ones in there. At least I'm not completely crazy. Jared says, finally got around to seeing Cap 4. I thought it was pretty solid. Expectations were low. Not great, but a decent time, in my opinion. Den of Goats all day. Hey, I'm glad you liked it, man. I really wish I had maybe lowered my expectations for that one. Because I fucking hate that movie, and maybe someday I'll revisit it and it'll hit me a little bit better, but, if they want to save Star Wars, turn the Bane books into the film, source material, and carry on 1,000 years, yeah, dude, Theory's talking about that Old Republic shit. I think Old Republic could be cool. I don't know. It almost feels to me like there's something more at the core of Star Wars. There's something broken beyond what time period they go to, man. It's almost like, the concept of the chakras? Here we go. Let's get crazy. Let's get gift shop yoga, crystal lady on you. So there's this concept in, chakras and all that, right? That if the root chakra, which is the lowest one, it's like how you actually think of yourself in the universe. Like, it's what roots you to existence. If your root chakra is out of balance, all of your chakras are going to be out of balance. Okay? And to me, Disney and Star Wars under Disney has a root chakra problem. And I think if we just say, oh, we're just going to do Old Republic, That's like up at the solar plexus, maybe even the heart or something. It's like, sure, like that, but it doesn't fix the root chakra problem, meaning that's not going to fix it ultimately. It might be more interesting and it could be better than what we're getting. So I'm not going to discount that, but I don't think it solves the problem. Star Wars has an identity problem, man. You know, Star Wars needs to look itself in the mirror and ask itself, who am I? What am I about? What do we do this for? You know what I mean? And I think that the truth is that answer is probably different depending on who you ask. Star Wars doesn't even like itself. Yeah. You're probably right. They need to go to Peridia and go into the mythical butthole. Wait, what, Jareth? Josh, after Rise of Skywalker made $1 billion and COVID came, there was no other movie in production planned after 2019. No, there were a lot of movies planned in production, brother. There were a lot. And a lot of them go bad ways. I mean, they had the Dan and Dave trilogy with the guys from Game of Thrones. That falls apart. Rian Johnson's trilogy, that falls apart. Patty Jenkins shit falls apart. Dude, they had a lot of stuff. John Boyega's comments on remaking the sequel trilogies was reassuring. I actually have that in my notes. We'll do that segment next. I agree. Cap 4 isn't as bad as people think. I mean, I think it's pretty bad, man. You know, I got to be honest. I have to hold to my opinions on that one. But if you liked it, I'm not trying to take that away from you. That's cool. If you enjoyed it more than me, God bless you, man. Star Wars is doing way worse than Marvel. I don't know. I don't know that I fully agree. I used to think that way, though. Yeah, I used to think that way. All right, guys. Any other thoughts on this freaking Mando Grogu? Should they just put this thing straight to Disney Plus, man? Should Jon Favreau come out and just address everybody and be like, "Hey, everybody, Jon Favreau here. You know, I took this movie on because I'm contractually obligated to do it, and I like Star Wars, obviously." I tried, but obviously we all know what it is. It sucks balls. I've requested to Bob Iger that we put this on the Disney Plus app. I'm sorry, I did my best, and then he's out. You know, that could be like a healing moment. You know what I mean? That could be like, because I wouldn't blame him. You know, I've had some shower thoughts about this whole situation, right? Because it just feels so silly to do this movie anyway. I'm like, dude, is Kathy doing some 6D chess work here, trying to tarnish the name of Johnny Fabs, trying to fucking devalue the Mandoverse? Is this some 6D chess move from Kathy to crush the Mandoverse? To destroy the legacy of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni? Okay, it's probably not that. I just didn't get a lot of sleep last night. But anyway,